The Road to Financial Freedom, written by Bodo Schafer, narrated by Rhodes. Acknowledgements. Extraordinary achievements are always the result of the wonderful interplay between diverse people. I had the privilege of learning from some very unique people. Unfortunately, it is impossible to mention them all by name here, but I would like to express my profound gratitude to them. I would, however, like to mention a few people who have particularly influenced me. Reverend Dr. Winfield Nowak, Peter Hovelman, my first coach who not only taught me the basic principles of success, but also the beauty of a trusting relationship, Shami Dilhan, the master of communication, and the billionaire Daniel S. Pena Sr., who initiated me into the world of high finance. This book is the result of both my relationships with them and the constructive criticisms from my editors at Campus Publishing, Miss Querforth and Mr. Schickerling. They never made it particularly easy for me, but that is supposedly beneficial to one's development. Preface. What prevents most people from living the life that they dream about living? The answer is simple: money. Money represents a particular attitude towards life. It reflects our state of mind. Money does not just accidentally come into our possession. It's a form of energy. The more energy we expend into the important things in life, the more money will come our way. Highly successful people have the ability to accumulate a lot of money. Some save it, and others use it to serve their fellow man. What these people have in common is the ability to keep making money. We should not overestimate the importance of money. When does it become of essence? When you need it and you don't have it. When you have financial problems, you tend to think too much about money. We need to redefine our attitudes towards money. Instead of it dictating our every action, it should only serve to support all of the areas of our lives. Everybody has dreams. We have a certain idea of how we want to live our lives and what we're entitled to. Deep down, we want to believe that we have a particular role to play which will make the world a better place in which to live. Unfortunately, I see all too often that daily routine and reality get into the way of making our dreams come true. More and more, we forget that we deserve to live that dream. Slowly, we fall victim to the idea that we can't disentangle ourselves from our current situation, and we start to make compromises. The image of how we want to live our lives eventually fades, and before we know it, life has passed us by. I've devoted my time and energy to the concepts of money, success, and happiness for more than a decade now. Over the years, I've learned to view money from various different perspectives, for money can prevent us from taking full advantage of our potential, but it can also help us to be the best we can be. I want to be your personal money coach. I want to teach you how to create a money machine for yourself. I want to share with you what I've learned from personal experience. Having money not only means freedom, it also means being able to live a more independent life. When I finally came to this realization, I felt the need to pass on this knowledge to every person I meet who craves true freedom. I'm convinced that each and every one of us can become wealthy just as each and every one of us can learn to fly, dive, or even program a computer. There are, however, some important basics that you first need to learn. There are several methods to make your first million. One method is described in this book and consists of following the 4 strategies listed below. Save a certain percentage of your income, invest your savings, increase your income, save a certain percentage of any increases in income. If you do this, you will, depending on where you now stand financially, have accumulated 1 to 2 million euros within a 15 to 25-year time frame. This is no miracle. If, for example, you want to earn this sum in half the time, for example in 7 years, then you will need to apply as many of the strategies described in this book as possible. Each strategy that you implement will help you attain your goal quicker. How can you become rich in 7 years? You understand that we're not only talking about the money that you will have amassed, but also about the person that you'll have become. It is certainly no easy feat, but it's much more difficult to live the life you want when you are restricted by your finances. If, however, you follow the advice in this book, then you may be assured that you will reach your goal. I've helped thousands of people in my seminars on their way to financial freedom, and I still marvel at how this knowledge changes their lives.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?